Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Quick video from Oscar Cooper, and a bit of a sort of funny subject this one. I wanted to talk about Ark Survival Evolved, purely because I visited this game many moons ago on the pretext that it was split screen. So what happened was I bought it, I played it for like literally a couple of hours, and then set up a split screen game, got a mate round, fiddled around with that, worked out what its sort of parameters were all about, and sort of put it on a list, enjoyed it, liked the crafting, really enjoyed sort of that world building that those guys have done with it. And then I sort of walked away from it. I sort of said, okay, fair enough, I get the idea, and that was that. So it sat on my shelf for a couple of months, well, at least half a year I didn't touch it. And the other day, well, about a week ago, I discovered a YouTuber whose video I'm going to put in the description, because if you own this, you might be like me, you might have owned this game, played it for a couple of hours, maybe 5 to 10 hours, and thought, yeah, you know, it all kinds of seems a bit daunting or a little bit sort of time consuming. And so I watched this guy, and he basically takes you through step by step how to open up this game. And what happened was I realized that I was really technically at the start of this game, even after 4 to 5 hours of sort of crafting and building and developing. And it's what happened now is I would say I'm still at the early stage of the game, but I'm kind of at the middle of the early stage of the game. So I've built my shack, which is made of wood as opposed to straw. I'm now smelting metal. I'm now getting my tranquilizers ready, and what that means is that you can tame dinosaurs. We're going to go into that in a bit more detail in a second, but I just wanted to talk about the improvements to the game after I went back to it. I remember it being quite choppy when I first fired it up on a standard base PlayStation 4, and then had a good look at it on the Pro. Obviously improvements, but there's been even more improvements. There's also been like this there's like weird Easter update on it as well, with the rabbits have got these funny the birds have got funny little ears, and there's eggs. But check this out, I found a fucking metal dinosaur. I was like, right, I'm gonna keep playing this game. Anyway, the pretext of the game itself is to train and find dinosaurs, and of course to craft and elements and minerals, and sort of raise yourself above the sort of caveman status that you start the game in. And what's happened is, with the various smelting and sort of pestle and mortar abilities, you be able to create narcotics from the berries in the ground, and these give you a more powerful sort of tool to actually take down bigger and larger dinosaurs. As you can see, I've got a steg now, but I've also got 3 sort of, they're kind of velociraptors. They're not velociraptors, they're called something else. Dillos, I think they're called. They're a bit weaker, but now I'm moving around as a sort of pack. I feel when you first start playing this game, if you don't know what you're doing, what happens is temptation gets the better of you, and you sort of wander out into the woods completely ill-prepared, and it's got this funny sort of permadeath setup to it, where you kind of die with all the stuff that you had on you. And if you're inexperienced with the game, you're walking around with all this really important stuff. You go wandering into a really dangerous section of the map, you die, all that stuff stays there. You don't have the balls to go back and get it, and you've kind of had the reset button hit, and all that work has kind of gone down the pan. It can be really punishing like that, and that's why it sort of emphasizes that you actually stay on a beach or a nice piece of sort of resource-rich space in the land and get your shit together before venturing out. And that was what I discovered to do. So I was making sort of longer trips out to this amazing wilderness, and that's another thing I want to talk about, is how well done the wilderness is in this game and how immersive it feels. There's a lot of detail put on the sound production and the lighting and the detail on the trees, and especially these dinosaurs. They look really cool, and if you're really into dinosaurs like I was as a kid, you'll recognize some of these really off the wall sort of ideas with sort of mammally dinosaurs, but it doesn't hold back. There's also some like fantasy stuff in there. There's giant fucking insects in here, there's massive snakes, there's like huge scorpions and queen bees, all of which can be tamed and have working with you on an AI front. Now, I'm going to talk about that as well, because that's another thing that's impressed me loads. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm completely out of my depth. So what I've done is I've gone sort of exploring over yonder, and I've walked up to a dinosaur that I wasn't too familiar with, didn't know what its aggression levels were, and it swung around and attacked me, and that damn thing was massive. But I had my three boys with me, my three Dillos, and so if you know games like Pokemon, or you know games where you sort of grab things, characters within the games, or convert enemies within the games to your side, then you know the sort of satisfaction behind that. And what happens is that each of your trained animals or dinosaurs actually levels up individually. It's really cool. The more that they kill, the more they get involved in, the better they become, and you can actually transfer those stats straight directly to the dinosaur itself. So you can have, a dinosaur that's got loads of stamina. You can have the Dillos or Velociraptors that are really aggressive, or you can have like your Stegosaurus that's got a huge weight carrying ability. It's really amazing how much depth they've offered on this dinosaur training front. I just didn't spot it first time around. I thought the dinosaur training thing was a gimmick, so you could just ride them around and look cool. I didn't realize that they were actual tools to actually give you more depth in the game. And now when I'm looking around, every dinosaur that's wild, that's untrained, has a level, like a pre-text level, and you look at it and it's like, all right, that's level 50, not too keen. Oh, there's a level 100 over there. The higher the level, the more difficult they are to train. Training involves knocking them out and actually feeding them as they lie unconscious with a particular food. Some dinosaurs will only take fish, some will take raw meat, some are herbivores, only take vegetables. The better you do that, the more sort of rank up points you preserve when that dinosaur actually comes around and is on your side. And you can name them, you can give them really detailed commands like follow, close, medium, far away. If you have two dinosaurs of the same breed, you can put engaged mating on so that they actually produce eggs and stuff. It's fucking mind-blowing, this game. I'm so into getting new dinosaurs, training them, having a good look at them, seeing how cool they look, interacting with them, taking them on to go and fight other dinosaurs, etc., seeing which ones are going to win. And I've not even got to the flying dinosaurs yet. I've not even gone into a cave yet. I've not even developed weaponry that's going to be, able to take on stuff like T-Rexes. I've not even built a stone house yet, or any metal structures yet. I cannot wait to move bases, go deeper. There's a whole Arctic section on the map, which is all mountains and snow. This game is huge, and I so understand why it was so big on the PC now. My only gripe is that the PlayStation 4 controller is a little bit of a bitch when it comes to, these wheels and using all these options. If I had a powerful enough PC, I would have this game on PC purely for mouse and keyboard and that satisfaction of being able to negate those menus with ease, because you're constantly using a lot of R buttons and hotkeys, and it's just a headache. That's my only gripe. But if you own a PlayStation 4 only, and you want to find out about this game, go and check out this YouTuber. He's brilliant, he's funny, he's very in depth, and he sort of does it with a story. There's like 55 episodes, maybe more, of him. How it's called How to Solo Ark, which means how to play Ark completely offline. Now that brings me to another point, is that this game is a bit like Rust, or a bit like any sort of massively online multiplayer game. You can go on a public server. I would never dream of doing it. If you guys know me, I love to stay offline and just bugger about on my own, but you can actually do all this with a friend on maybe a closed server that you set up privately, or even do this as a PvP. Can you imagine this? Setting up your bases with another dude doing it on the other side of the map, your dinosaurs fighting, you all racing to sort of get your buildings upgraded, get your weapons upgraded to go and take them on in a fight. There could be like 4 or 5 of them, 10, 15 of you. There's a big old scale war going. Mind-blowing, the potential of this game for what it offers, and I'm having so much satisfaction with it just on my own, offline, in a sort of private server map. It's giving me everything I want. And what with this lull at the moment, and the fact that I'm not going to get Days Gone until it's fully fixed, I'm having so much fun with this. This is where I'm finding my satisfaction. If you know the channel, you've probably seen that I've also cheated and had been a traitor and actually went over to the dark side, the Microsoft side, and got Sunset Overdrive. But come on, guys, Jesus Christ! I mean, if you haven't watched that video, that before 5 years, I waited in silence to get that game, and I think I deserve to be able to play it, even though I'm a PS4 fanboy and will never ever get it. But if you've never looked at Ark, if you've only looked at it on my split screen video, never played it single player, fire that thing up. It's amazing. And go check out this YouTuber. The guy's completely awesome. Take care, guys. See you down there.